Hello, sisters. I am live from Bali right now. I've been soaking up the sun and unwinding and inquiring within. And it's been an interesting week. And I'm in the midst of launching this mastermind, Love Like a Queen. And I'm really, really excited about it. I can taste the flavor of it, and it feels really deep, really potent. The level of honesty and illumination in this space is going to be so transformative. I can feel it in my body already. And one of the things I want to bring to this round of the mastermind is really giving women the permission and the tools to inquire into what they desire, what they need, what their boundaries are when it comes to relating to men. We're not taught as women to connect to our desires, to ask for what we want. Many of us have been conditioned to people please, to self-sacrifice, to play the good girl as a way to be loved. And so many of us enter relationships, disowning parts of ourselves, repressing our desires, repressing our needs, crossing our own boundaries for the sake of this relationship, for the sake of being loved. And it doesn't work. It doesn't work. And one of the ways it doesn't work is that we end up emasculating men essentially in relationship because we're emasculating ourselves. And what this looks like on the surface is we feel angry in a relationship, we feel resentful, we feel sexually, emotionally frustrated, we feel anxious, we feel confused. Because we're not giving ourselves permission to have the level of abundance that we're really desiring. Because we believe that if we own our truth, if we really ask for what we want, then we're not going to receive, then we're not going to be loved. So we shrink and mold ourselves into what we think we need to be for this man and for this relationship to function. And when you are not bringing your full self to the relationship, and whenever you are not being really honest with yourself, inevitably there will be an implosion, because that part of you that you're repressing will then be forced into the shadows, and it will have to reveal itself and erupt somewhere, somehow. And one of the ways it does is that we end up spewing this resentment, this frustration on the man. And because we haven't acknowledged that we have needs, we have unmet desires, we end up making him responsible. It's something you're not doing, something you're not giving me. You're not doing enough. We become very warped in this projection that, this man is just, he's not the right one, or, he's not really loving me. He doesn't really care. And I really believe that that is a mirror to us not holding space for our desires and our needs. Because men, like in their deep core truth, want to please you. They want to show up. They want to satisfy you. That ignites them. It ignites them to pursue you. It ignites them in their masculine energy. But if you are not giving yourself space for your desires and your needs, that man can't meet them either. He can't step up and provide. You know, a massive collective wound for women is that we don't feel seen in our truth. We don't feel seen in our desires. And therefore we don't feel met. But you have to allow yourself to be seen. You have to get really honest with yourself about what you want. You have to take the risk of you and this man, your partner, actually wanting different things. You have to take the risk of having the really uncomfortable conversation and not knowing where it's going to go. You know, this is why we people please and we overgive and we play the good girl, because it's easy. You know, if I just enmesh myself in this man, in his needs and his desires and his life, then I can sustain the relationship. I can be what he needs me to be to have this relationship. But when you actually get honest with yourself and give yourself permission for the freedom and abundance that you really want, you know, maybe the two of you aren't on the same page, or maybe you both want the same level of freedom. But in that, there's going to be a lot of discomfort. There's going to be a lot of triggers. It's going to require a lot of trust in the relationship, in the love between you both. It's going to require you to let go of this identity that tells you that you're unworthy, that you can't have it all. You know, this is why so many of us are accustomed to having unsatisfying relationships where we don't feel met, because we're too comfortable with compromising. We're too comfortable with not asking for what we want. And then we wonder why we feel pissed off, or why we feel resentful, or why we end up giving this guy a really hard time when he's probably just trying to do his best. But the part that you play is you have to bring your truth. You have to bring your desires. You have to bring your needs. And for you to be able to do that, you have to take the time to get to know yourself. You have to put your boundaries and your needs and your desires as a priority. Because you can't show up in your relationships as a full, ignited person until you really know who you are. Until you really know, you know, what gives you pleasure in a relationship. What really ignites your heart. What really inspires your soul. What really allows you to feel free. Yeah, Nikki, I love that. It takes bravery. It takes courage. It takes trust to know that you get to be loved and have all that you want. You get to have your cake and eat it too. If you have a desire for something, there is someone out there who is an energetic match to that desire. And that might be the guy that you've written off, or that might be the person that you've said, you know, he doesn't want to commit to me, or I can't bring my truth to him. But why don't you actually take the risk and allow him to show you what he's made of? But he can't meet you if you won't meet yourself. He can't meet you if you're not willing to own up what you want. And it's risky, and it takes courage, and it takes bravery. But the alternative is you will get in a relationship and you will feel suppressed. You will feel bored. You will feel confused. You will feel resentful. You will feel angry. You will feel frustrated. And you will make it his problem and his fault. And all you will, what's the word I'm looking for? The conclusion that you'll come to is, this man's just not the right man for me. The relationship's just not right. Next time I'll be lucky. Repeat, repeat, repeat. So this is a huge piece of what I'm bringing to this mastermind, Love Like a Queen, and that is to give you permission and the tools to get clear on what you desire and create it. To give you the confidence and worthiness to really claim what you want and receive it, because that is your divine right in this life, to receive your desires, to feel fulfilled. And when you don't give yourself that permission, you will emasculate men and you emasculate yourself. That part of you that wants freedom and wants sovereignty and is self-focused, you will shut that part of you down and you will point the finger at whoever is outside of you. If you are feeling the call to be in this mastermind, I have a handful of spaces left. I'm looking for women that are really committed to this work, to embodying their feminine power, to living in their truth, in their romantic relationships, with men. If you're feeling the call, please send me a message. It's an application only process. So I can send you an application. I can feel into whether it's a fit, and we can have a chat and connect and see if it's in alignment. But this is potent, deep, transformative work. And it's the most honest work you'll ever do. And it's also the most liberating work you'll ever do. So that is who I'm calling into this space. We've got some epic powerhouse women in the group so far, which I am just so lit up by. And I'm really excited for this next step. So if you want to be part of this, if you want to be part of this journey with me, then please get in touch. Sending you so much love. Thank you for listening. I love you dearly and deeply.